And my wife that morning, she would take a picture of me and send it to Pastor Dakbo and say, this is how he this morning. But as I sat down in that place, God just dropped this word in my heart. I wrote it down. I wrote it down and I searched this scripture immediately, and an altar, and call upon the search you out. It will search you out. No two ways about it. David was somewhere in the wilderness doing that God has commanded him to do, setting things in order in the wilderness. Yet Samuel couldn't rest until they brought him and they ordained that which God has ordained for his life. You don't need to start looking for any other greener pasture if God did not want you to go to that place. You know, a lot of people, a lot of Africans are dying on the Mediterranean. I think it was 2 days ago. There were corpses. I saw it on the internet. They said there are 26 Nigerian young girls that were drowned in the Mediterranean. What were they doing? Seeking for greener pasture. I had a cousin who was doing very well in Nigeria. He had 3 shops. And you know, when an Igbo man has 3 shops, you know what it means. He had 3 shops doing very, very well. He had 2 in the north, and he had 1 in Lagos, doing very well. I was still in university then. All of a sudden, I heard that this boy has traveled, that he has left the country, that he's in Europe. Once in a while, he sends pictures. He's happy. Wow, he's doing well. It's a lie. He spent 9 years outside the country, and he called me when he came back. He said, I came back with 200 euros. After spending, he was outside the country. I finished university, got a job, got married, had a child, and this young man, he was older than me. He's older than me rather. He came back with 200 euros. And when he got to the airport, he called his younger sister. And the younger sister and the husband went to the airport to pick him. 9 years, 200 euros. Wasted years. The reason I left you in Crete is that you will set things in order. You need to hand over everything to God. In 2 Samuel chapter 9, we don't have much time. 2 Samuel chapter 9 from verse 1 to 13, we will hear the story of Mephibosheth, a man that destiny has burst here and there, and he was crippled because when they asked him about the story of his life, if you read the story, you will realize that apparently the person who was taking care of him wasn't really very careful. I don't know, for whatever reason. And when war was coming up and they dropped him and he fell on his feet and he couldn't walk for life, it created a terrible situation, permanent crippleness in his life. But yet, when it was the appointed time for God to fulfill that which he has in his life, Bible said that David said, David said, is there any other person that is left in the house of Saul that I may show kindness for Jonathan's sake? And they say, yes, there's one of him that is crippled. But yet, they brought him and he started dining with the king. I remember a story I read one time. Obasanjo, he was the president, and he went, I think, one of these southwest, either Calabar or Uyo, and they said, he got there and he said, I used to have a friend around here. And he was saying, I used to have a friend around here. Let them go and look for it. Apparently his friend has died, but his son was there. And Obasanjo took the son. If that boy was not there at that time, he will not come in contact with destiny. There's a reason why God allowed you to be where you are. You don't need to start seeking for greener pasture that will lead you into a terrible mess. What are you going to do? Hand over everything to God and focus on your assignment. Avoid distractions. You might be in Crete. Greener pasture might be a distraction. You will decide not to seek the face of God. You will decide not to have, not to hand over anything to God, and you are being distracted in life. 1 Kings chapter 20, I'm going to read 1 Kings chapter 20. You will see a man that was given an assignment. You see, the situations we find ourselves sometimes is as a result of choices we make in life. So you need to be careful with your choices. 1 Kings chapter 20 verse 39. I'm reading from verse 39. And it says, now as the king passed by, he